I've been asked about the Kennedy assassination. What's so important about the Kennedy assassination? Something that happened over 60 years ago? I would first posit these questions. What kind of government do we want? And how does that affect every one of us today? Nobody wants to live in a tyranny, having a small clique of elites do what they think is best and forgetting about the people, Americans. Whether from the right or the left, leaders can become passionate, and deep inside they think they know what's best for everybody. Our founding documents say our rights came from Almighty God. Listen to the words of Thomas Jefferson. Seriously, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Think about it. It's self-evident whether you believe in God or not. The dignity of the individual requires they retain life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness without repression. Now listen to this in the next sentence by Jefferson, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Aha, John Locke and the Enlightenment. Now, I'm not going to offer myself up as a sentimental fool, even though I am. I would rather use one of the primary tools of the Enlightenment, rational thinking. With the consent of the governed, we have a constitutional republic. We have representatives to chart our way as people, Americans. This is reflected later in Jefferson's paragraph, and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Again, acknowledging and respecting mankind as beings and prompting the question, if that's true, how can an elite cadre rule over everyone else without authority? What's so important about the Kennedy assassination? We devolve into a dystopian version of the rights of citizens if a president, the executive branch itself, is removed and altered, not by the people in an election, but by brutal execution. Let's include a candidate for president in 1968, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, a man who had swept the California primary, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a social and moral force by the consensus of the people of the United States and the world. Both men, like President Kennedy, were removed from a nuanced future from the time they lived in. That is the reason why the Kennedy assassination and the other assassinations matter. Blocks of power in government tend to defend their turf, and in the end, all three men were murdered and denied their future.